So look what we picked up yesterday evening. So this is a 1993 KX125. So I was scrolling through Marketplace, come across it for $1,000. I waited a day, 2 days, it went down to $800. So I hit the seller up, let him know I was interested. He said he had a couple of guys ahead of me that wanted to look at the bike. So I waited till the very next morning and hit him up, told him I was very interested, and went and picked it up. Now, it does run. So let me back up, man. So I feel like for $800 and it does run, we're right about where we need to be with it. So with that, it does run, but it burns a lot of oil. It does sound good, and we need to go through the carburetor. It does need, the back tire looks pretty good. I think it has a gouge in it. It's flat, I know that, and the tire won't hold air. And then the front one, it holds air, but it has some dry rottedness to it, so it needs a front tire too. Now, besides that, I mean, it's a really good bike. It does spit. See, this is one of the deals I was telling you about. So when I got it home yesterday evening, I fired it up and rode it for a brief minute just to make sure that it went through all the gears and everything, and it does. So with that is a good thing. But you see all the oil coming out of the tailpipe? So I'm gonna fire this thing up real quick. I'll let y'all hear it. Y'all can see the smoking, and then we got to jump into a few things before we get carried away. Another thing the seller did tell me is that the choke doesn't work on the carburetor, just pops back down. I think the spring's missing. So here we go. It's a tall bike. So fuel on. Choke. Yeah, choke won't stay on, guys. So we're gonna give it a go real quick. Let's see. Whoa. See, it's real boggy. It's real boggy. I think it's fouling the plug already. So it does run. It's getting fuel. We got to go through some things. You see the excessive smoke, the oil comes out. So that's that. That smells like some good old bean oil though. So the first thing we're gonna do, get it up on this homemade stand here, is we're gonna take it out front and we're gonna put some engine cleaner on there, and we're gonna clean this bad boy up. I mean, it looks pretty bad. We did clean off a lot of the oil. We seen that it ran. So now we're gonna take plastics off. I need to check the oil. I need to check the spark plug. Matter of fact, let's check this oil right now. See what it looks like. We're gonna do an oil change no matter what. Looks good. Let me go grab something. That looks like fresh oil. That looks good. That's a bonus. So another thing we're gonna have to do is, once we get far enough into it, we need to take the pipe off and make sure there's no oil down in here, right? And then we're, like I said, no matter what, we're gonna change the oil and see what it looks like that way too. The good thing is that there was oil in it, and the seller had let me know that he had changed the oil because he had to change the water pump seal. That's the word on the streets. There's that. So let's pull some of these plastics off real quick. So we know that the silencer is not the right silencer for the bike, as you can see, which that's really not that big of an issue. I just want to get it off here and see what we got. Look at that. Wow, that thing is full of oil. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So look at this, man. That thing is coated, right? It might be a set of bad rings. I'm not really sure. We're gonna go ahead and rip this pipe off. It's missing a spring. We got to get a spring for it. There's only one in there. So yeah, we're going to continue. These are all 8mm. Everything I've taken out's an 8mm. So we're just going to carry on. So I removed the fuel hose. We're going to take the fuel tank off, and I was looking at that gas. And look at that. So that almost looks like straight gas, which would be a bad thing. If not, it's got just a little bit of oil in it. But we're gonna continue on taking it off. The flow was not that good out of here, was not very good. But then again, there's probably not much gas either. So we're gonna continue ripping it apart. I wanna try to get it going today. So when you're taking this gas tank off, don't forget your 8mm up in there. Right, you see the head of it right there. And then it's gonna be, these take your plastics off. You got your little strap here. All right, man, so I had to blow a little bit of more water off of there. I'm telling you, I don't need no water in there. So I got my spring off. We got our bolt off right here, right? So let's see about getting this pipe off and what it looks like inside. That looks like it's probably a 10. It most certainly is. Or we can do it like this and take the whole bracket off. We'll just take the whole bracket off. All right, let's see what we got here. Got to make sure to keep our copper gasket here. We can't lose that. So let me turn this camera here. All right, well, nothing came out of it. That's a bonus. It is super oily. We'll put that off to the side for now. And then trying to see them rings. Huh. Don't look too bad. So before we get into the carburetor, I want to pull the spark plug off, see what we got. I need to drain the radiator fluid out of it and the oil out of it and see what that's got. But we want to pull this first and we're going to take a look at that. And the air filter looks pretty much brand new, so that's a bonus there. If I'm not mistaken, the seller said when he got it, there was no air filter on there. So that could be an issue, but we're gonna get into that here a little bit later in the video. So your best bet is gonna be a 13/16 socket. I have a spark plug socket right there. And then we're just gonna get an extension here and pop it off. It was definitely tight. The gentleman said he just put this plug in here. We're definitely gonna see. It looks good, it looks brand new. Let's see what we got here. I know there's a lot of something on top of that piston. Let's see if I can't get y'all a shot. See if I can't get y'all in here. I don't think y'all can pick that up, but there is some stuff on top of there. Look like some old carbon or something. So we're gonna check spark real quick, and then I'm gonna whip out the compression tester. We're gonna check compression. So we got our compression tester hooked up, man. Let's see what we got. We're looking for somewhere around 150 or 160 would be a pretty fresh top end. So let's see what we got. Throttle open. So what do we got here? Ooh, looks like about 110. So that is kind of low, but I do believe it would run, which it does run. So it's probably gonna need a set of rings. But besides that, one thing I wanna do is I wanna check this end. There's one issue right there. Let me get my cutters here. You're gonna cut off a 1/4 inch at a time until you get fresh wire like that right there. See that wire right there? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off just a little bit more. Just like so. Excuse me. Push that back on there. Get this thing nice and tight. It just screws in there. Right, if you ever take one apart, there's just a little screw that screws inside that wire which connects. So there's that. Let's pull this compression tester. I was definitely hoping for better compression than that. So that could be some of the reason why it's burning oil like it is. And this is a brand new kit, which I think is pretty nice. Oh, Amazon special. I bought it for the KX60, the little Ripper. But it seems like I'm getting more use out of it right here, right now. Check the gap on the spark plug. It's 0.030, which is pretty much right where you want it to be. So we're gonna put this back together real quick. I clean that plug off. So I'm gonna drain the oil, and then we're gonna drain the coolant, and then we'll take the carburetor off. But first I want to show you the drain pan is clean. And then here we go, man. It was a 17 millimeter. I mean, I don't really know what they got going on here, but I guess it works. So, oh, look at that. That looks like probably water in the oil. There's my washer. They had a washer on here. Well, it's not real bad, but it's not real good either, now is it? So this is an 8 millimeter. There we go. Man, I'll tell you one thing, these gloves smell fantastic. Just to get a little shorty here, boy, that's gonna be too long. So we're just gonna have to find a way to get it in there. Oh my God. Wow, that joker was tight. The seller also did say something about maybe checking these reeds. That's one reason why I'm taking this out. We can. Let's see what we got. That looks nice. I'm not seeing any cuts in there. I mean, it actually looks really good, like maybe they just replaced that. And then here's our reed. So you see the one side? That's how I pulled it out of the bite. See the other side? So what I'm gonna do, which is what I did on this side right here, is I just took them off, cleaned them, and flipped them over. Now I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I mean, it's the first time I'm attempting it, but it sure looks good. So we're gonna run it and we're gonna see what it's got. Now I gotta finish cleaning this up real quick, get them flipped over, bolt it back down, and then we'll put it back on the bike. So we got the carburetor back in, everything's clean. I flipped the reeds over. We're gonna see if that's gonna work. So I'm gonna pull the spark plug back out. We're gonna try another compression test before we get any further. We cut the wire back to fresh wire, tightened our boot back on there, Check the gap on our plug. 0.030 is where we're at, which is within spec. And then we got to go through that fuel tank. Got all this nice and tight. Made sure there was no leaks. The choke is what it is. Put a spring on the idle screw. Got our air screw 1.5 turns out, which I know I went over all this. We're just doing it again to make sure we're both all on the same page. Now, what I do have left is put 0.7 liters of oil in here. Fill this back up. Wow, crazy. So the bike takes 0.7 liters of oil, which is 700 milliliters. So we're using 10W40 4-stroke full synthetic. I already have it measured out to 700 milliliters, so we're just gonna dump what we got and go with it. Check for any leaks here in a minute. All right, man, we got some 32-to-1 in there, which is recommended by the owner's manual. We're topped off. We have 700 milliliters of oil. Our spark plug's good. We checked the ring gap. I guess at this point we're gonna see what we got. We know the choke don't work, so fuel on. Doesn't look like any leaks anywhere. Filling that bowl up. All right, let's see where we're at, man. All right, guys, so we ripped it up and down the road, man. It's still real boggy and it's still burning a lot of oil. So I think, I'm not 100%, but I need to order a piston and rings, a gasket kit, and then I need to start looking for the right exhaust. You can see where all the oil's coming out of the exhaust right here. I mean, just making a mess, gentlemen. So that's that. It does run, not the best. I'm almost 100% sure that a carburetor, seeing as it seemed to run better, because I'm sure that the pressure is probably making that choke pop up. It's making it run bad. It was dripping from the car, but it looks like that stopped. That's a good thing. But anywho, so that's what we got into. This is our next bike. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna get it running good. I'm glad y'all stopped by, went through everything we went through, checked out what we checked out. 800 bucks, I don't think it's a bad deal. So I'm glad y'all stopped by. I'm your boy Ride Fast and Live Careless, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.